gonna need you guys to get something comfy. Get something cozy, get real cozy, get real comfy, because this is going to be story time. Hi guys, welcome back to another week of Wake Up and Win. Listen, this one's gonna be a little bit different because I'm really on here to share a story. The story that is jumping off the next season in my life. But let's start from the top because you know why I'm here. It's life, and I need you to understand that you don't have to do any of this alone. So, as I always promise, go ahead and like, subscribe, and I vow that every week will be better. But you should be liking like right now, right? Click it, just go ahead. Let's start from the top. I'm gonna need you guys to get something comfy. Get something cozy, get real cozy, get real comfy, because this is going to be story time. Last weekend, I celebrated my best friend's birthday. Yes, it was beautiful, bless her heart. And one of the celebrations, we decided to go and hang out at a venue. I'm gonna leave this venue out because guess what? They're not cutting any checks. So just know that it was very nice and swanky. We're in this venue, right? At the start of the evening, she wasn't there. I walked into the venue by myself. There were doormen. There were doormen at the venue. And the doorman opened the door and I walked in because that is just all that is. I hung around until she got there, met some people. People came up to me, chatting. We're having a good time, kikiing. The night carries on and it is time to wrap up the evening. Now, this is where it gets a little bit, keep up with the details. Best friend and I like photos. We like photos. We like moments. We like to capture the elevation of our lives, especially on something like a birthday. We do. We are preparing to exit the venue. Folks are telling us how beautiful we are. Blah, 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 la, 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 la. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. That's crazy. It's her birthday, yeah. A lot of that is happening, right? So here I go into my mode and I'm like, let's get a photo. Best friend wants a photo coming out the door. I said, fine. Stand by the door, come in. I start clicking, flicking. The doormen decide to be a part of the photo. They open the door because again, they're doormen. And I'm like, okay, great. They open the door, I start filming, and they start gallivanting and doing backflips and making jokes behind her as she's walking in. So I said to myself, because now I'm temperature checking, right? And I'm starting to feel a little bit annoyed. They close the door. She comes through. I still record even though they are carrying on behind her video. She gets to me, I'm like, hey, listen, this is the video, but they're playing around in the back of your video. As I'm talking to my best friend, one of them comes through and he's like, well, we've got to keep opening the door. That was trigger number one. Because, sir, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my best friend. And I'm not sure how you were able to hear me because I like to speak like this. So that means your ears were reaching. But I didn't say anything because I understand that when people wake up in the morning, sometimes they just want action. Okay? Sometimes people wake up and it doesn't matter. They have intentions on stirring up drama for the day. So I looked at him and I looked back at best friend and I let him talk. We're still there taking photos. Now we are nowhere near the door. They are opening the door. They are laughing. It's getting louder. I said, hey, let's just head out. Call the cab, get the Uber. Let's make our way out of here. I sit down because I'm in a space where I need to check in, okay? Because before I respond from a space of I don't know, I said, Natasha, check in with yourself. Why are you upset? Why are you angry? Don't say anything. You're good. You're safe. Okay? We start to head out of the venue. I start walking, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. I'm in front of best friend because I want to get to the cab. I get to the door and the door does not open. Riddle that. The door, y'all, the door does not open. We're talking about the door that was opening every 2 seconds when I was videoing. We're talking about the door that was opening when I was walking and approaching the venue. We're talking about the door that opens for every single person in this venue all evening tonight. This door does not open. I say, self, take your hands and push the door open. So now I'm a door woman. There are 4 doormen at the door. And this door is not opening up. So I said, okay. I pushed the door open and I said, oh, we're not opening the doors. And then I hear, I'm not opening the door for you because you're staticky. That is when, if I didn't know whether I was upset, that is when I knew for sure I'm upset. They open the door for best friend. Don't open the door for me. It's fine, it's cool. I use my hands, I use my beautiful hands and I open the door. I proceed to walk to the cab. And in my head is playing staticky, staticky, staticky. I said, whoa, staticky? Not staticky. I'm staticky? So now I'm in the cab upset. And I'm upset because I didn't ask for a label that night. I didn't pay my monies to have an experience at a venue to get a label. I didn't. I mean, in all actuality, I wasn't interested in kikiing with men. I wasn't interested in playing around. I wasn't interested in jokes. I wasn't interested in that. I came to take good photos, hang out with my best friend for her birthday, and that is it. So when I heard a label, I said to myself, Natasha, why are you getting labeled? Why am I getting labeled by a doorman? So now best friend sees the anger. I'm trying to hold it in. I don't even know why I'm trying to do that. Blame my past self for trying to hold in emotions that are clearly written all over my face. We're done with that as well. Because I've learned that, A, I'm not doing a good job with hiding my emotions. Even though the people in my immediate circle aren't telling me, like, hey, I can tell you're upset. Clearly, in this last year or so, everyone is making it very clear to me that we know when you're upset. They're just not telling me. So I'm no longer hiding how I truly feel about a situation. So I say to her, actually, yeah, you're right. I am upset. And she's like, I apologize. They shouldn't have done that. I said, you know what? It's not for you to apologize. I am offended because as a patron there, I mean, I've seen them open the door for plenty of people who don't even look at them, right? Who are not paying attention to them. And I'm not hearing any labels. They're just opening the door. But for some reason, I get staticky. So if you know me, you know that every time in my life that someone has given me a label, I go straight to Google, okay? Because I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear about the words you called me. So I go straight to Google. Staticky, static slang meaning, static urban dictionary, static. What does static mean? I'm going straight to the source. It took me about a day or two to realize that I think he's right. I am staticky. Mr. Doorman, whoever you are, if you are watching this, I want to thank you. Shout out to you, because what you did was you started something in me that was dormant. You lit a fire. I am actually very much staticky. You know why? I've realized that I'm not easily convinced. I do have firm beliefs and values. And if they are not adhered to, I certainly will remove myself. I'll attempt to change the situation, right? But by all means, I will head on out unapologetically. And it's time for me to not deny that part of myself. Not deny the part that I will speak up. I will say something. I will not allow you to neutralize me. I will not allow you to question. I will not allow any of that. I won't. And he was right, because they wanted to play and I didn't want to play. I didn't want to play with 4 doormen. I didn't want to kiki. I didn't want to giggle with them. I didn't. I just wanted to take a photo and I wanted to get in a cab and I wanted to head out. And guess what? As a Black woman in America, I should have the right to be however stance, attitude that I want to be, as long as I am not hurting anyone else. I don't have to be overly nice. And this is something I was talking to with my neighbor. This whole stereotype of Black women, especially in leadership, having to be overly nice, very caring, very thoughtful, very sweet. And if we don't come with these attitudes, then we're immediately given angry Black woman or superwoman or she's too much. And we run away from those things. When in fact, you're right. I'm a lot. I am. I'm a lot. I'm a lot. I'm a lot. I am. I'm a lot. I'm a lot. And it's okay for me to be a lot. It's okay for you to be a lot. It's okay for you to not have to be very nice. That's not necessary. We don't owe anyone entertainment. We don't owe anyone entertainment. This is not our task. That's not our role here. Because people have been navigating life without being very nice. And if I can teach you something that I've learned in 2 years in about 5 seconds, is you have the right to respectfully upset people. You do. If it is not in alignment with the things that you want, with what you believe, you have the right. You do not have to conform. That's not how this goes. Especially as a Black woman. Especially as a Black woman. You do not have to be anybody's expectation. So before you leave the house, be very clear on what you're willing to accept and not accept, what your vibe is, what you're interested in, and stand on that. I was forced, again, I went from being very upset to the doorman to now I want to find him to tell him thank you. Because I don't have to carry that anymore. I don't have to carry being super nice when I walk into spaces. You don't have to carry dimming your light because someone thinks you're a lot. You don't have to carry the responsibility of making other people comfortable at your own expense. I'm forced to think about Joseph and how Joseph's family, his siblings, totally disrespected him. He is sent away to never see his family until the death of his father, all because of the evil from his brothers. And the verse that sticks with me is Genesis 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. And I've heard this before. This is not the first. I've heard my granny say, what was meant for evil, God makes for good. When you hear these things as a youth, it is not until you have the experience, then you're like, oh, that's what she meant. That's what my grandfather meant when he said that. Because the doorman's intent was to ridicule me. It was to bring me down. It was to let me know, you're doing too much. When in fact, I didn't even speak to them. Would you rather me not be here? Was that like how much did my presence annoy you? Because what I really could have done, which we all know what I could have done, right? I'm really proud of myself because I did not kick off with him. And trust me, when I was in the cab, I had lines for days. So I'm really proud of myself that I didn't even exert that type of energy, because when other people control your emotions, that means they have control over you. So the fact that I was able to maintain what I wanted to maintain for the evening, I am proud of myself. I am in control of my entire self. But that doesn't mean I have to accept what he did. And here we are now. It's static season. It's static season. We're done. Listen, you don't have to be small. Okay, it's time for when you feel that feeling in your chest when you're like, temperature check, something ain't right. I need you to kindly express, hey, what did you mean by that? I don't agree. It's interesting that you think that way because I don't. How can we meet in the middle with this? It is time for you to start advocating for yourself, even when it's at the expense of others. It's static season. It's time to shake things up. You're not a wallflower. I didn't do much and I still got name called. So if we're gonna be doing it like this, let's show out. Let's do the most. If I'm going to be called out for doing bare minimum, let's show out. Let's give you a show. Let's be at our utmost potential, because obviously the light is on Black women and how we behave and how we speak and how we talk and how we navigate the workplace and how we achieve the things. That the light is on us. So if you're going to put the light on me, let me give you something to watch. Be encouraged. I'll be back. This is just a little bit because I got so much more to talk about. The waiting season is over. I can't wait to share with you guys. There's a big announcement loading in my life. I hope things are moving and progressing for you. If they are, please leave it in the comments. I want to celebrate with you. Let's be in the comments just celebrating how good and faithful God is. I love you. Mean it. I'll see you guys next week. I promise I'll be back. Be good. Bye.